they're horrible.
What's up, all you degenerates? Welcome back to the cast. We are late night here Wednesday night. It is the zbookies.com sports betting podcast.
Just a little shade towards Washington here.
We're having a little giggle over the men's basketball standings currently in the Pac-12, which features our Washington Huskies.
The whole conference.
When I say our,
it's
I don't
crazy
mean
though,
our.
at the top.
Right?
At the top, it's crazy.
But anyway, thanks for tuning in tonight. If you are, this is N2.
J-Rod.
And your friendly neighborhood B-hole.
Cute.
So if you haven't tuned in before, it's been a couple weeks since we've all been together.
Facts.
Again,
Yes.
officially, congratulations to Jared on the
Jared
new
bringing
addition to
new
the
life
family.
into the world.
Thank you. Graham Walker, someday you're going to watch the beginning of this and be like, wow, that's where it all
A
started.
third boy, you're 2 away from a starting lineup for a
Right.
He's
basketball
close.
team.
He's close.
So, you know, you still got the age to where if you really wanted to put in the work and the dedication, you could roll a starting
I asked the
lineup out
question if they were done, and I got an astounding no. Yes.
there. A hard yes.
Hard yes.
Hard yes.
We won't do that again.
Gosh.
God bless it.
So yeah, it's good to be back. We like to
is.
talk sports. We're based up here in the Pacific Northwest, and so we've got some, Seahawk gear, Oregon Duck gear.
That's Bigfoot, buddy.
Yeah. Oh, that too.
This is a dirty white t-shirt.
Dirty white tees.
Sure.
Yeah.
But the big news recently in the Northwest has been the biggest star it has, Russell Wilson for the Seahawks.
Rocking the boat a little.
I would say more than a little. Officially, since we've gotten together.
I don't want to be traded, but if I was, I'd like to go here.
The last time we got together, this was all purely speculative.
Yeah, now he's
right?
talking.
May I say what he just said?
This
Or
is,
was
this
it?
Is, this is like, or was it? This
Yeah,
is officially, hey, we've asked the Seahawk brass to explore a trade, but we're only going to give you these 4 teams to shop with. I have so much to say. I want to hear what everybody else
I
has.
just say
Someone
one
else can
comment
go.
to that. Just let's equate it to this, because we've all been married except Nick, but he's pretty much common law married.
Mm-hmm.
You imagine coming to your wife and saying, "I don't want to get divorced, but I got 4 girls that I'm interested in," and how that would go over. Just from that standpoint, and we can.
But I want to be here.
That's kind of my point. Like,
How can
my
it's a
biggest
bad
takeaway.
situation.
My biggest takeaway is, how do you really come back from this? From a locker room perspective, from a camaraderie perspective, because even if he stays, even if they put a deal together, everyone in that locker room knows that he was more than willing to walk out that door if it made sense to him. You know what I mean? So is the detriment done? Has it gone too far?
right? Because he's go Hawks guy and all that, and now he's complaining about his offensive line and other things. But I think what's been most clear to me is the fact that Carroll's offense. I got shots at him too. I'm not happy with that. I think Russ, if we're gonna keep him, obviously you got to turn the keys completely over and give them to him. If you're not, then you're just in a no-win situation because he's not going to be motivated. So then we're not going to win the whole thing. So you have to either obviously be all in on him, or you have to move him and eat that cap. Unfortunately,
How terrifying is it to have a brand new OC and the chance of possibly having a brand new quarterback at the same time? That's scary. That's crazy talk.
Let me begin with my favorite quote of the MMA world of, "I'm not surprised, motherfucker." I was lambasted when I said I believe Russell Wilson will be playing in a different jersey next year because I saw this the last time we were all together, and the other 3 said he will be in a Seahawks jersey. I personally don't think so. And
They'll burn Seattle to the ground if they trade him.
I disagree.
I don't
I
think
disagree as well.
what he did,
I
how publicly he came out. I don't think there really is a way you go back, and if you do go back, it's going to cost you on the other side, KJ Wright and Bobby Wagner, in my opinion. On top of it, we talked about it. We have 3 decent offensive linemen, 2 that could possibly be something, and he shit on all of them. On top of it, JJ Watt is now a Cardinal. That's not fantastic. That doesn't help
division
us.
just gets harder every year.
Harder and
Nothing
harder.
new.
So then you brought up a good point 5 seconds ago when you said something. You said Pete Carroll's offense, and then you're like, I'll get into that in a minute. But if Pete Carroll is now asking a question on if he's willing to bet on himself or he's willing to bet on Russell Wilson, Pete Carroll's going to bet on himself, and he'll move Russell Wilson, find Matt Hasselbeck,
Right.
2.0.
Derek Carr.
And then he'll find Marshawn
Four
Lynch
teams, right.
and whatever bevy of running backs he needs to find an offense that puts up 24 points and invest his entire capital into defense, in my opinion, because he probably is at the point of thinking there's at least the conversation of we need to stop putting money on offense because we get flashy, we make it to playoffs, but we don't win the championship. Let's reinvest this money into this side of the ball and spreading it out. I'm not surprised that this has gotten to where it is now, and they're having the conversations.
I'm totally shocked.
I'm not. I saw this coming. I saw as soon as there was little
Here's
whispers
why
of trades.
I'm
I was
shocked.
like,
I know everyone's been waiting, but this is it. Sorry.
Don't worry, guys. This is why you tuned in.
I get it. Fans are they love Russell Wilson, right? But there are fans like me right now who feel this fire inside of them, who've really thought about what this is on the surface, and this is what it is. You are spitting in the face of the franchise that gutted its defense, that carried you for the first 3 years in the league.
True.
They went to bat for you. They gutted Sherman. They gutted Thomas. Chancellor
Made you the highest paid guy at one point.
Hold on. I get it.
Hold on. I love you. Hold on. Just real
Go
quick.
ahead. Fine.
There's been rumors of Sherman having a reunion in Seattle. Who is Richard Sherman's biggest problem with inside?
That's my point. That's
so
what I'm
back
making.
to your tirade.
Right.
Go ahead.
Russell Wilson is the biggest problem with that. He divided everything by throwing the pick, whether it's his fault or not, for calling the play or executing the play, however you want to draw it up. But to sit there and spit in the franchise that completely moved everything that it stood for, from defense to trying to mold it around the offense, whether it's running game based or not. They said, hey, we got too many stars on defense that are outspoken, that are talking about Wilson, that he sucks, that he's not really a team guy. Let's get rid of those guys, or what do you think about the quarterback? Oh, we just drafted the quarterback. We got to stay with him. So they get rid of 2 all-pro guys, basically, and run them out of town. Yeah, Wagner's a professional. Yeah, Wright is a professional. And now Russell Wilson has publicly shit on the defense that's currently there.
Yep.
You've got to move on from him.
Yep.
He should have been traded a week ago. As soon as he publicly said, I'm open to being traded, I don't care which one of those 4 teams is it.
Yeah.
Get a third team involved that you can parlay some picks with and send his ass someplace that he doesn't want to go. I don't care.
Is there an
I know. But that's my other point. He negotiated a no-trade clause to turn his back on the franchise. He got everything he wanted to publicly throw everybody under the bus. What happens in week 2, week 3, when he gets hit 4, 5, 6 times and he's sacked? And maybe they're 2-1. Maybe they don't look bad, right? But everybody's going to be thinking in the back of their head, hey, is Russ upset? He got sacked today. And by the way, J.J. Watt is washed. I don't care about that. I care more about my quarterback going public and saying that he wants to be out of a place that went all in on him. Somewhere right now, Earl Thomas and Richard Sherman are like...
He did not say he wanted out. He said he wanted to stay.
He did.
He said, I want to stay in Seattle.
His agent said, hey,
But these are teams
like
like
Eric said,
Houston.
we'll give you 4 teams that you can work with, but we're committed. Well, that's not committed.
No,
He
it's
said,
not. It's
You're
not.
not looking.
who
elsewhere.
has come out and said Russell Wilson is
But
definitively our quarterback?
Here's why I want to patch things up, because name me a team that has traded away a franchise quarterback
Texas.
and came out better than that.
Remember, they haven't traded away yet, but they will. But I
Came
don't
out
think
better?
they're not going to come
Yeah,
out better.
we don't know. And Pete's 70. Does he really want to
What was the
rebuild?
situation with the 49ers?
I think.
Montana
I think.
and Young?
Montana and Young.
I think
was
they
Montana
made a
traded
move.
or a free agent?
What
This
happened
week-
with Drew Bledsoe? What happened with Drew Bledsoe?
Yeah, I don't think he was traded though. To the
Oh,
Cowboys.
he played. He
was
won a
just-
big
he was
conference
hurt.
championship game.
He was
I'm
hurt.
pretty
He
sure.
came back
He
and
got
started.
hurt. Tom took his job.
Yeah, he came back and started the
Well,
game.
that's what I'm
He
saying.
won. Yeah.
Right? Like there's been franchise quarterbacks who get moved and you find success elsewhere.
Right, it can happen, but your odds of finding that, you can get the number
No.
1 pick and blow it.
For sure.
But what I was going to say is one more thing, and I'll just put the news out there. I want to get it out there and get your guys' take. Hawks, we've discussed this, have problem, Pete, mostly with time management, timeouts, play clock. They brought in a guy to handle that duty. And I thought, I've never heard of such another move from another team. It just... I don't know why
Maybe-
Carroll can't handle it. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
I don't know.
It's been an ongoing issue. That you can't deny it.
If they're trying to fix it, good, I guess.
But I'm thinking that's a move towards Russ,
It could
helping
be.
him out and making a connection with him because he's close with Russ. He's been on the staff before.
Yeah.
So to me, Is everything going all right over
Yeah,
there?
no, everything's
I think there's been a couple.
Had a question, technical question.
I think there's
Technical difficulties.
no, this
Excuse me.
That's the question.
You can't say that the Seahawks have done nothing to fucking help the guy. Like you said, it is a spit in the face. Like DK. Well, went out and got DK. I mean,
They went out and got Percy Harvin and fucking
Yeah.
Jimmy Graham and they tried.
They got you star talent instead of investing in the offensive line.
They're 2 for 12 on offensive line picks. That's fucking shitty. Damian
it
Lewis
happens.
was a hit. You could call Britt a hit.
Yeah.
Unger early in the fucking thing, but other than that, outside of trading and signing a free agent,
No,
they haven't been able
they
to
got
draft
Trent Brown.
offensive line.
Trent Brown's been a stud.
Right.
And we got him too. I mean, they've done things. Like
I'm not saying that Russell's wrong in what he's saying because you can. He has an argument. He has something to be said about being as hit as often as he has. I have no ill will towards Russell Wilson.
part of that's his fault though.
And that's where I come into it. And my understanding is that sometimes he holds on to the ball too long to look for the big play. And my assessment from this situation is that you have two people inside of a situation that unless this comes back together and they win a Super Bowl, this is happening next year. It's kind of like a bad breakup. You just kind of need to do it.
They traded already.
You can drag it out, but in my
The
opinion,
money. I think it's gonna be next year they'll trade him.
I don't
If
know.
they will.
When he's worth
I still
less.
think he'll be a Seahawk. I'm on that. That's my
I don't
vote.
like
I
He's
I
Seahawks.
think
just
he's
like
good
Ken
move.
Griffey Jr.
I
back in
don't.
the day.
I think this is happening rapidly. I think we have no first round picks. We have no second round picks. Does Russell Wilson provide John Snyder and Pete Carroll with first round picks and second round picks?
Yeah, but then who do you put under center?
Marcus Mariota.
Well,
You would just love that.
Yeah,
I get to buy a Seahawks jersey and it's a Mariota one.
You gotta trade him.
The whole
for
thing
somebody.
stinks though. Both sides have points, but
Yeah.
I kind of lean more towards. I side with the Seahawks. They've done things to help them.
Yeah.
The team's been successful.
Hey, I'm a fan of the
Like-
Seahawks. They're the team. They're the franchise that I like. If Russell Wilson goes elsewhere, I would wish him the
be it.
best, but I would still be a Seahawk fan. Love Russell. If he stays, he stays. But I don't think you can publicly attack your employer and your
Family.
coworkers in that way, and then come out of it the other side.
Yeah,
you
I
know,
don't either.
not that route.
It fucks the locker room up.
Really bad.
He's lit fires you can't extinguish.
It's kind of hard.
You can tell how much of football homers we are because like we're how far past the Super Bowl. We're still talking football.
Well,
I know
this is
it's
on the
relevant.
front
It's
page of
relevant.
It's
ESPN about what
yeah.
team to be traded
it's
for.
it's relevant. I get it,
Yeah.
but that just shows like
Super
NBA's in full swing and we lead off with NFL
Yeah,
talk.
absolutely.
I love it.
Russ,
You
baby.
should. And this is Russell Wilson. This is like I said. This is like Ken Griffey Jr. getting traded, man.
Yeah, it is.
It's like him going to the franchise and saying, "Hey,
Send me to the Reds.
I'm open to going to the Reds, but
I'll stay
maybe
still."
the Yankees. Everywhere else, not so much.
You know what's
But
what kind of surprised me was the Bears.
you're not going to get anything for Russell Wilson in 2 years. He's
No.
walking.
You're not going to get him
You'll
in.
still get some. Come on, you'll still get value.
Not on a contract year.
When his contract
rental.
is expired,
It's
you
a
can't
rental,
get
yeah.
any
You
more.
wouldn't do it too. You'd either do it
Glorious
now.
highlights.
They-
You
franchise
do
tag
next
him
year when the
probably.
money makes more sense. That's
I
too
mean,
much dead
ugh.
money.
I just don't think it's going to be the ugliest court in the history.
It blinds me
Yeah,
every
that's
time I
the
see
court.
it.
The
I wouldn't
Oregon
care
Ducks-
what team it
If
was.
anybody watched the Oregon UCLA game tonight, I'm sorry because it was on Oregon's home floor.
That court
I'm
is
not.
atrociously ugly.
That's the worst court in the history.
I always, when I see it, think
Where
they're rebuilding.
dreams
I think
come
it's
to die.
I think it's under repair. Like I see it, I'm like, oh, they're fixing the floor. Oh wait, it's supposed to.
One
look
for
like
UCLA.
Is it
That's
really
a good
is
one.
it supposed to look that
that.
bad?
It is.
We just got done watching the Blazers come back and go
Yeah.
Dame time 108, 106 over
Just
the
take it for
Warriors.
granted at this point. It's just what's going to happen.
Warriors were
Yeah.
favored by a point.
And it was
That
the
makes
classic.
sense.
It was the
Blazers
classic.
Blazers have been down lately.
He pulls up with 15 seconds left when they're down by one for a three that's 8 feet behind the arc, and we're like,
Terrible-
"What are you doing,
yeah,
stupid?"
terrible
And it
shot
goes-
selection.
It goes in, so all of a sudden, oh yeah, good, that's
Yeah.
great.
It's not a bad slot shot though for Dame.
No,
That's how
it's
you.
not.
That's how you
Can't
drew it
judge
up.
it.
Yeah,
Can't judge it. So, back really quick to transition to NBA. We were talking about it a little beforehand. Is Brooklyn now the favorite to win it?
It's a good point. That's a good point.
They're definitely the favorite
I think
in the East.
for sure.
Well, no,
it's-
I'm talking the whole show though. Who do you
still
put
gonna.
on?
I'd still
I
always
still
lean
like
West.
Utah.
And I mean, it's if AD's healthy,
As a
it's going to be
team-
the Lakers.
Really?
Right.
Utah. over
Utah's
Brooklyn?
team
Phoenix is a
is
hot team right now,
super
though.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
their defense is
They
really
are.
good.
They
Their
had won
bench is
19 out of 20 at
solid.
one point.
They got Jordan Clarkson off the bench. They got
Yeah.
Mike Conley leading.
Didn't they
the
just
point.
lose in overtime?
Gobert's the defensive player of the year.
Yeah,
I mean,
Ingles.
Ingles hits threes and is Australian, and you like that kind of thing. So I'm surprised that you're on the fence.
Even
at all
O'Neal's
about
very
it.
good.
I never said I was on the fence about him. I was just surprised to hear it come out of your mouth.
Oh well, I mean, they're at first 27 and
Everything
9.
They are.
Everything in the West
They are.
revolves around that calf strain of AD. If that's fine,
Sure.
I don't
Fake.
care what seed
It's
LA
fake.
is.
Right.
How much drama happens when they
It's
say
not fake. Did you see what happened to Durant
Hold
a couple
on.
years ago when he went out with a
Sure.
Hear me out.
calf strain?
Hear me
Yeah.
out.
Yeah,
This is what I'm
his
saying.
Achilles
ACL
went out,
or-
man. You
yeah,
can't be
yeah.
You
pushing
got to be
it.
really
Hold on.
careful with those.
But do you remember when the Lakers rested LeBron last year through the regular season? How much
But AD
people
was
gave him
healthy.
shit?
It's a different person.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're not understanding what I'm saying. How is would the Lakers not lie after last year about resting their star during the regular season because they know they can afford to lose games, get in as a 3 or a 4 seed?
If they got caught,
for a
if they
run?
got caught lying about an injury though, they're losing draft pick. I mean, it's
How
a big
do you
deal.
prove a calf strain?
I just think I'll follow your point.
MRI,
I'll follow your
MRI,
point
yeah.
and
MRI
say that
proves
he's
the
not
And
doing
then
that.
there's inflammation.
But I'll say that they'll be
Yeah,
very
those
patient because
torn-
they don't care about the seeds. Of course they're going to
Yeah.
be patient.
That's all I'm saying.
As long as they get in the
Slow rolling.
tournament, they've got a shot.
He's
when you've got
perfect. He'll
LeBron
be
and a healthy
perfectly
AD.
fine.
Well, there's no question LA's getting in a tournament. It's whether
Well,
they're
then
getting in a
you
tournament
try to
with
be healthy.
AD and LeBron.
He'll
Right.
be 100%.
So let's just take them out of the equation, and then let's look at the West without them. And I would go.
I like Utah over everybody
Utah.
else.
Yeah.
You like Utah over Phoenix,
And
and
the
you like
Clippers.
Utah over the Clip Show, which I called on the show. The Clippers beat them.
Yeah,
I like
still
the Clippers in that
7-game
matchup.
series. Yeah, playoff P is not who you think.
No,
he
I know
is.
who he is.
So I'm going with
I know
the
everything
Jazz.
about what he is.
In that matchup, I'd go with the Jazz.
But they still have the claw. It's not like they don't have busters on that team.
Listen, the only thing that's derailing the Jazz right now is injuries.
That's true.
Right.
Just
No
like,
busters
just like
here.
Yeah.
injuries are the only thing
more
that are
official
derailing the
because
good
he's got that
teams.
hat on.
Yeah, right.
He knows
You-
what a
you can
buster
say
is.
buster wearing that.
And a gold chain.
I don't see any busters here.
Blazers have been dealing with a ton of injuries. They're only 6 back in the 5 spot right now. They're 20 and 14.
They need to make it.
They might make it out of the second
Well,
round.
Rodney Hood's eligible to
No.
be dealt now.
Yeah.
Well, no,
He
I
is-
think not just
he has
Hood,
such little
Simons,
value, though.
Anthony.
Oh.
Get rid of
They
it.
need to move him and get a
Get
good
rid of him.
quality backup guard.
I would love Lonzo
point
Ball.
and a bouncy four.
If they
like
can
I
get,
said,
yeah,
They can
Lonzo's
get either
playing
of
too
those.
good to move now for the
They
Pelicans.
can't. Yeah,
Fair.
that's probably not available now.
I would love to have him.
It was.
But that
it
team
was.
needs to break it up because New Orleans as a team doesn't flow right because you've got Zion who eats up paint, Adams eats up paint, Ingram likes to work
Well,
in the
that
mid
John
range.
Collins is nice.
Ball, he's not a long range shooter. He wants to distribute.
His contract, his rookie deal's up. You should probably go out and
Yeah,
try to
weird
get somebody
shot.
like that.
You got a weird
Who's
shot.
that?
Collins. The Hawks.
Well, that's who I want.
Right.
Yeah. I want to attack, but I don't know what you'd give Atlanta. They have their guard heavy.
Whatever you have to give him.
Right.
Atlanta,
Cash
they're not doing
considerations has
anything.
always been my favorite.
Cash considerations.
It's Atlanta.
We're gonna pay you.
Remember when Paul Allen would just do that? It'd just say cash considerations, and you just have this hired gun. It's like,
I miss the
all
days
right,
of Trader Ball.
somebody just got an envelope, and we just got another all-star from
right.
another team.
Remember when we bought Rudy Fernandez from
We just
the
bought a
Suns?
lot of things.
That worked out great though.
It's great.
I don't. They got. They do.
You guys
have
ever
to do
see Paul's
something.
yacht?
I haven't. No.
Yes.
Oh.
No.
What you'd expect. It looks out of a Bond movie.
Yeah,
It looks
yeah.
like a villain in a Bond
You
movie.
can land a helicopter on it. Just saying. It's got another boat, which is still a big boat that it carries around.
What is its
It's
name?
behind the helicopter pad.
It's
It-
huge.
It's fucking.
The
it's
SS Microsoft.
Minnow
An
Johnson.
octopusy, but yeah, it's
Yeah,
not
right.
that, I don't think.
I don't know, man. I think that CJ is still their best asset.
Sure.
So and
Trade
he's not,
Dame.
and he's not playing.
Right, but I don't know where he's
I'll
at
trade him
health-wise.
But they could use him right now.
Of
I mean,
course.
to pretend that
He
he's
got
not
off to a great
valuable
start
is
this year.
Ridiculous. I don't know. They're not in a very advantageous
No,
position.
there's nothing they're
that's
gonna
for
do
sure.
to win anything in the next fucking 5 years. Like,
Not unless you build around Dame. Dame has proven that he can be. He's in the MVP conversation.
Yeah.
No,
You just
but
gotta
he's
add
not a starter
another.
on the All Star lineup.
Right, you gotta add another top 10 player. Well, it's because Luka's ridiculous.
Yeah, Luka.
I mean,
Luka
it's
is.
fucking Luka. I mean, but I'd put Dame over him, but it's not like it's a complete slap in the face. And Luka was
And I
completely
was-
respectful with what
He
he,
was,
said
and
about
I
Dame.
honestly,
and said, yeah,
I threw
Dame
shade at the
should have had
whole.
it.
I threw shade at the whole decision, but afterwards, I've watched a few of Luka's games over the last
No.
couple weeks. He's broken.
Yeah.
The dude is just. It's,
Well, he's carrying the entire team right
Yeah.
now.
Oh, Luka?
Porzingis is on trade talk as well. And
He's
the
hurt,
Blazers
too.
have even thought about trying to target him for some,
back tightness or whatever.
you know,
For Porzingis.
you know, I'm not in love with that one, but hey, at least the Pac-12 women's team.
Should we talk about the Pac-12 schedule?
Football.
I mean, just the fact that how unorganized they are that you'd have a TV show that you have your own network and you wouldn't have it on, and you'd release it at 8 in the morning. How's that?
Is that how they did it? I saw it came out. I didn't know it came out.
When you
at 8
guys
in the morning.
started texting, I didn't even know what the fuck you were talking about. I was I was confused. I had to look it up.
Oh, we were joking. This is the schedule release.
If you don't take yourself serious, who else is? And the Pac-12 treats itself like a joke. I don't know why.
They didn't have any schedule release announcement on the network.
They're building. They still haven't named anybody. Larry Scott's still in effect until he's finally pushed out. You know what I mean? It's on him to release the schedule. He's the...
He doesn't care.
You missed a
doesn't give a
marketing
fuck.
move, is what I'm saying.
He
to
doesn't
promote
care.
your product.
But hey, he doesn't care because
We
it's all
know
cash.
He's lighting the ship on fire.
Could
as
you
it
have
comes
waited?
off.
Could you have waited a month?
It's hard to market.
Right, well, you could have did it at 5, 6 o'clock when people get
It's
off fucking work.
on
too.
your-
Made a
on your
show.
network, on your network.
Like what the NFL Total Access
You guys
stuff
fired
does.
me and pushed me out. Fuck you.
That's
Hey,
exactly what it
everybody,
is.
here's your schedule. 8 o'clock in the morning. No one cares.
See you
We'll
later.
get into the schedule, but go ahead, Nick. You had your hand up since
Yeah,
we're back in school.
I did have
Let
my
us go
hand
on
up.
this show.
I was just gonna say real quick. I mean, are we gonna completely ignore the fact that every team just had a 12-game schedule announced at the 1st of March with no concerns really? I mean,
Well, supposedly everyone's going to be vaccinated in the country by next month. So.
but you know, well, no one's called me. But I'm just saying. I mean, how do you market it right now? I mean, it's kind of tough to go out there and just say, hey, we're going to gung-ho a 12-game schedule without really thinking if it's the best thing we should do. I mean, not to say that
That's
it
one
isn't,
day
but
in the Pac-12, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just,
Let's go.
that's my reason for why they can't market it really
Right.
heavily, is because they just kind of under the radar just say,
It's a TV
all
show.
right,
Of course
we're
we can
going-
market that.
We're
We
going
can-
non-conference games we're going to Ohio State now. We're going to go to Michigan.
Look at this
now.
schedule.
That's a fun
All
week.
this now.
That's the best
There's
week of the
really, there
year.
hasn't been any
September 11th.
dialogue about
Yeah.
should we or should we not be saying we should do this. I get you could always postpone things, but it doesn't seem like that there's really that many concerns about things. And maybe there should.
We need.
Nope. All steam ahead.
I
Yeah,
guess.
nothing to see here, folks.
Yeah,
Move forward and give me goddamn college football. Real, not fake, not
Right.
the bullshit we had last year. Real football. Give fuck less
Hey,
what the circumstances
Well,
are.
okay, since we're going to talk about it, I'll talk about it. I was listening to a recruiter today. Pac-12's losing kids because Texas has completely already said they're going to be completely
Well,
opened
Texas is about to
up.
lose kids too.
There's going
because
to
of
be
some
their kids
racist
are going back to
email
school.
chat
We don't know
thread.
if these schools are going to be opened up. Are we sure there's going to be fans in those games?
Even
in
if the
the
fans
West
are
Coast?
fair play,
Okay.
watch. They had
Is
to
that the
slow roll.
same?
And they had to slow roll everything. Everything's gonna happen. It's gonna be a normal fucking everybody press forward.
Let's go off that.
maybe
and let's
the
talk about this
SEC.
deliciousness here.
Just go
Please.
forward.
This make or breaks our
Absolutely.
whole conference right here this week. We have to be positive this week.
I love Cal's
Take a look at
matchup.
that. Bring that paper over.
I love it.
Bring
I got it
those
right in
games
front
up,
of me.
boys.
I got it
What's
right
that?
here.
You guys lead off.
I'll read them. You got Washington,
September 11th, 9/11.
Washington at Michigan, Oregon at Ohio State, Cal at TCU, Stanford at USC, Hawaii at Oregon State, Portland State at Washington State,
I threw shade in there.
San Diego State at Arizona, UNLV at Arizona State, Utah at BYU. I love that.
Well, clearly, I mean, the game that jumps out at me is the Ohio State and Oregon game because
Or Washington,
it's
Michigan.
going to be perceived as the best Big Ten team against probably the 4th or the 5th best Pac-12 team at that time. So, I mean, it's really going to be
That's
it's going to be tough. I mean, if
It is, but Ohio
Oregon
State's
goes
a
out and
different
gets beat
cuss state.
59-0, like they probably will, it's going to look like bad. But I'm going to remind them this is the gutter trash of the Pac-12 this year. So let's not get carried away. After the Huskies take care of Michigan handily, and remind John Harbaugh he should have went to the NFL.
Hey, as long as the
Now he
Huskies,
still has
hey,
a
real
job.
quick, as long as the Huskies have the same officiating crew they had
The next
when they
shortest
played the
name on
Beavers,
that list is Hawaii at OSU.
That's why I put that on there. Thank you.
Because the officials are going to guarantee screw OSU, so Hawaii's guaranteed.
OSU and the Cougs both really wanted to challenge themselves. in
Colorado's
Monaco.
guaranteed going to be
PSU, Cougs, and then Colorado. Hey,
Yeah.
what a test! You got Texas A&M coming into your house.
Yeah, I mean
That's real, though.
SC is probably
In
going to beat the
Denver?
Cardinals.
Are they playing in Mile High?
Or a
It's not
Cardinal-
even at the real stadium, I don't think.
I like the Utes at BYU in the Holy War.
I do too.
Do you want to know how you made it?
Huh.
When your rival talks more about you than they do themselves.
Oh, sheesh. I
Made
didn't
it.
say anything.
Oh, we live rent free. We
Right.
have a fucking yacht bigger
Well,
than.
you guys got out of an L this year because the game got canceled. And
Oh,
then
you
you
guys
got
got
a
out
ticket
of
to
a couple
the
of L's.
and then
You guys
we
didn't
gifted
leave
you a
Washington.
Pac-12 we gave you a Pac-12 title on a platter.
If
Said,
anyone-
oh, okay, go play.
If anyone got out of an L, it's the fucking Dogs. Are you kidding me? The third down and fucking nothing. The
You
fourth down
guys
and
didn't
nothing.
leave
Get outta here.
Washington. game. Get out
I'm
of here.
talking about the game that
It's
didn't happen.
It'll
The
Hey,
never
Beaver
die.
game.
hey, we
Whatever,
have
it'll
no
never die.
problem traveling to Autzen North and handing you guys an L up there. There's no issues. When was the last time you guys won in Montlake?
Bro, your quarterback doesn't even want to
38
play there. The starting
Don't need
quarterback
him.
left.
Don't need them?
He said,
You guys
"Oh,
watched
they
it?
put in the backup in the second half. I gotta leave."
Absolutely.
He didn't
Had
have,
issues.
he didn't have
You
the
called-
he didn't have the complex of the quarterback.
Right. So we'll
those
just
are the
use
guys
guy
you're
that
recruiting.
replaced him. But you know, it is.
Now that we've all
No
vigorously
shot, that's what you got.
talked our trash.
I love it. I absolutely love it.
It's
No
good.
chance.
I can't wait till it gets actually
No
go. This is
chance,
not even preseason and we're already getting fucking fired
What
up.
do you think about the NCAA tournament? Gonzaga or bust?
Whew, Gonzaga or bust? It's their year.
Michigan just
It's
got
their
beat
year.
by Illinois. Illinois is kind of sneaky up in there too, and I still like Iowa, but Gonzaga played Iowa and beat them by double digits. But man, Gonzaga's been rolling lately.
I think it's
They're
Few's
good.
year to break through.
You can only beat who's on your schedule, right?
That's all you can do.
Who cares if it's the WCC?
Well, there's thoughts out there that they should kick a game so that they can get out of their system. I didn't say that. I'm saying there's people that think that way. You just get one out of the way.
I don't think that the
Just for the psyche.
I don't think the idea of
Dealing
greatness
with
is
it.
synonymous with losing a game on purpose.
Well, of course not. I'm saying, and I mean, they'd almost have to throw the game to lose in a WCC game, though.
I think Houston's sneaky as well.
It's such a crazy year.
The coup guys.
Well, yeah,
well, I
'cause
mean,
it's not your
even
typical
Duke is like
tourney, right?
barely limping
Nowhere,
in.
nowhere
you
near.
know?
You didn't
Just
have a regular
weird.
season. I'm gonna just absolutely homer. Dana Altman aligns. Watch the deep run from the Ducks.
Hey, they're first in the Pac-12 conference, and the Pac-12 conference looks pretty good in basketball so far this year. They
No,
might
it
have
does not.
They might have
1-4.
Pac-12 I mean, the Ducks might be. The Pac-12 conference is awful. Is a basketball conference.
maybe
I'd say they're worse than they are at
We've
football.
had to deal with the
Maybe.
most
The
restrictions.
women's side's solid.
maybe as a whole.
Women's side's very good.
We've had to deal with the most restrictions. All I'm saying is you get a late season push from a lot of the teams. A lot of the teams are playing really well down the stretch. Oregon's 1-4. You got UCLA's playing decent ball. You got a couple of teams that are gonna make it in. And all I'm saying is Dana Altman always has Oregon basketball playing the best it'll play in March.
What's going on, boy?
Talking down there.
Yeah.
He's agreeing. I'm making valid
Yeah,
points.
he's
Dana
definitely-
Altman aligns the. It's what happens.
You know what's weird to me when I look at the top 25
Mhm.
and I don't see fucking Duke?
That's weird, right?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, but they're
North
still
Carolina.
Olympic.
And I see Kansas
Or
at
North Carolina.
13 and I don't see North Carolina. Like, what is
That's
this
what
shit?
It's crazy this
Like,
year.
it's
Anybody's
Baylor,
game.
I get it, and we all know about the Zags and Iowa.
Yeah.
Nick has touted
Spokane,
Iowa all
Washington
year.
is the epicenter of
And then
college basketball.
When did Alabama
Absolutely.
get good? When did Alabama get good at basketball?
Yeah.
You know?
They've been decent for
Yeah, a
the
couple
last
years.
10 years.
Ohio State's doing what they do.
Yep.
Play both sports
The
really
SEC
well.
is actually sneaky underrated.
Oh
in
yeah, they've always
basketball.
got very good
I'm
athletes.
telling you, watch out for Houston.
It's
The
gonna be a
Cougars do
crazy
have a
year.
good team.
They've only lost 3 games.
Speaking of great SEC athletes, did you see the Georgia kid Tony Edwards just murder that guy? And that nobody saw that dunk.
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay. Well, we'll have to have a side.
Oh, you're
that.
talking about in the NBA.
Yes.
Edwards.
Yes.
Number 1 pick.
Right, we're talking about
yes.
SEC.
Yeah, I saw that one.
He wrote it. I've never seen that.
Right. That was one of the most vicious dunks I've probably seen in
Right.
game. in a
Just to
long
give the
time.
SEC its cred. But
Last thing to wrap up, you want to talk
Yeah,
UFC?
you have to.
Sure.
Have to. So the
How
only
does
three,
Anya-
the only three that's worth talking
There's
about,
fights this Saturday.
Oh, nice.
Let's get
Lasagna.
out the pocketbook.
just the three, right?
Okay.
To get into them, Petteryon,
Write it down.
Aljamain Sterling.
That's your third fight.
That's match 3.
Big
you have
card.
2 more.
Big
Big
card.
shoulder.
Big
Love it.
card.
big fella.
So
big fella.
A, give me Aljamain. Love him. I don't like the potato. I
Petteryon.
don't like the potato. Aljamain's gonna grab him. Submission.
Look at the line
And
though. It's
Yeah.
110 each.
So yeah, look at the money here. What's the,
the
better
money
play?
is even.
Pick them.
Give me Aljamain with the submission in the second round. Money. Sisson?
Gosh.
I'm putting the pressure on. Just these 3. I just want for funs. Give me the round and how you think the fight, or if you think it goes to decision.
That reach.
I think Jan still wins the fight, but I like it going to the cards. I mean,
Okay.
God,
You're young.
this
Decision.
is I'm going to say split decision Jan, like 48-47 maybe on 2 cards.
Okay.
I like Jan's striking ability and his endurance. His pace is good. He's able to take
These
shots.
boys look.
He's also
outside of the reach.
opportunistic. Sterling hasn't
Even.
found himself in
Yeah.
too much trouble. He's dictated almost every one of his fights and controlled the
Significant
ground
strikes.
game at will. So
50, almost 56.
it's going to just depend, I guess. Is the fight going to get to the ground? And if it does, how comfortable is Jan going to be on top of Sterling's guard, and I don't know. It's going to be a tough fight. I think
I think
it's going to be a tough fight for Sterling to win because I think in order for him to win it, he's going to have to stand for most of the time. I don't think Jan's going to get on the ground with him. I think he's going to get him up if you know what I mean?
No, I
if
do.
There's some slips, a knockdown. Jan's not going to try to jump. Like, it's not going to be Aldo.
Aljamain's so weird how he moves and how he is. I think that he's going to counter Petr.
He's strong.
And put him onto a knee, and the next thing you know, you've got
Aljamain
with a hook in and a rear naked set. It's going back.
These are two really good fighters.
Petr Yan knocks him out in the 12th.
No.
No, I think it goes to decision also, but I'm going to take Yan.
No, I'll go with what he said, Sterling.
Yeah, I like him.
Split table. Nunez?
Nunez and Anderson. Look at the betting line.
Yeah, I want to get to. He's pulling.
Well, I wouldn't touch
minus 1100.
I wouldn't touch Nunez with money because there's no point.
No point.
Yes.
What are you talking about? The last fight, somebody put $3 million on her
I get it.
to win 365.
Sure.
I get it, but I mean,
Most of us aren't that have that laying
it's
around.
just stupid.
So the homer.
I think I got it right here.
Yeah.
Hold on.
The better play is to go the other way and just fucking throw it away, not expecting.
you're winning like $9
Yeah.
to win 100 or to bet 100.
Yeah.
But if you got a grand to throw away, put it on fucking Anderson.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a $9 pay.
Why not?
Yeah.
Accidents happen. Shit happens.
It does.
It's a fight.
Everybody has a swing your puncher's chance.
I wouldn't bet this fight.
And there's a reason they're in the octagon. You know what I mean?
Right.
No
There's no
disrespect,
reason to.
but
No.
I don't.
She's also 6 foot tall.
In that last fight, though, that $3 million bet came in on, she was also like a plus 650 favorite. This time, she's like almost double that.
Yeah.
I mean, she's obviously going to win the fight. There's no competition. Nunez first round knockout. There's your prop bets should be.
Yeah, you should be hitting
where it's
prop
at.
bets.
I
Yeah.
mean, this isn't going past the second because her last fight went 5. A lot of people thought she carried her last opponent to get to the 5th round and
Just to show off.
Yeah.
So, and she's an up and coming Canadian fighter. I can't remember her name, but
Megan Anderson.
this fight, no, the previous one that Nunez fought that carried to the
What was her name? It was something weird. I remember.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Nunez
This
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
first round knockout.
Yeah.
All right, so main event.
Yeah.
This is where it gets interesting because.
How do you say
Oh,
that?
come on.
Blahovic.
Yeah. How do you not know how
Jan
to pronounce
Blahovic.
that?
Only a plus 180
Spell it
dog.
for me. BLACH.
CHOI.
No, OWICZ.
O-W-I-C-Z.
Oh, sorry. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
BLACH spelled blow.
I'm sorry. my
Georgia
Polish
also.
is a little rusty. What a story for him, huh? He was almost cut and is now the champion of the light heavyweight division, and has looked
By
like
default.
fuck. But how in default? The guy who almost beat John Jones, he destroyed Dominic Cruz.
The story of the fight is not Blahovic as much as
No.
you'd like to Blahove him. The truth is,
I'm just
that
trying to give him some fucking credit before
I
we
love
jump
how
on it.
this
he
is
has the
about
strap.
this is about
His picture's
Adesanya.
holding
Yeah.
one.
Right.
This is
That's
about
classy.
Izzy
He's coming up
coming
a weight
up
class as well.
from his weight class to challenge for the light heavyweight title. This is strictly so he could goat Jones after he looks terrible in heavyweight to come back down to light heavyweight to fight him for his own title.
You think
This
so?
is good. Oh, dude, because Jones, in my opinion, if he gets one of the Ngannou or Stipe, if that's his first fight, which Dana says it is,
Yeah.
he's getting smoked.
Stipe is going to
Really?
He's getting smoked.
Ooh.
In the heavyweight division, Jones is going to get toasted.
I gotta see John Jones get smoked before I say stuff like that,
Yeah.
though. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
I mean, that was my whole Pat Mahomes thing. I gotta see a guy get smoked. I mean, I'm not trying to be an asshole here, but like, I learned from that. I always, if the guy's,
That's a good line, though.
I'm coming in
I gotta
hot.
see it happen before I can say it can happen.
Hot.
No, I mean I understand what you're saying, but I really don't think John. I don't foresee.
This wolfing
I don't know.
dog.
It's
Oh,
John
scares you,
Jones.
buddy.
Jesus, I mean that's
John
like saying
Bones Jones.
that's like saying Amanda Nunez is gonna walk in and get plastered by Megan Anderson.
She's not moving up to fight somebody in her. What guy could she come step up and fight?
Yeah, no, I mean
Max
anyway,
Holloway.
here's what I'm how much does Israel Adesanya weigh at the fight? That's my question. He's saying he's gonna weigh in at 194.
Well, that's gonna
He's gonna
that's
give
gonna
up
be 11
10
pounds.
pounds.
11,
He's gonna give up 10
11
pounds that
pounds.
Jan's
Well,
cutting
Blahovic
down
could,
to.
could technically come in at 206 before he's over the limit.
Right.
He could walk out at 215, I think,
Mm-hmm.
the night of the fight after
Mhm.
inflation. So,
20 pounds difference.
well, that's if he comes in at 195. I still
That's
think
a
he
lot.
comes in at 200.
Izzy said, I think it was yesterday or today. He said that he's thinking he's gonna come in at 194.
It'll just be interesting at the weigh-ins if he, gets up to that 200 mark.
I don't think he will.
So
I
he's
think
already
in the
got a lot of
90s.
muscle though on his body. You wonder if that's going to slow him down in the fight.
No, this is not his first time. So that was one thing that I wanted to look up, was figure out, has he done this before? And yes, he's done it. I mean, when he was kickboxing, he went from middleweight all the way up to heavyweight, and just to beat an unbeaten fighter that was world renowned at heavyweight, just to show I can do this.
Is that Adesanya?
Yeah, and then drop back down to defend his title at middleweight. So he is comfortable going everywhere, and his whole entire thing about this is that his style, his pace, his angles, the way he strikes,
It transcends weight.
it transcends weight, power, everything. It's all about precision, timing, and being able to move. Jan is an absolute tank of a man. So if Israel
He looks it,
Adesanya,
doesn't he?
if Israel Adesanya is able to
That
just
boy runs on diesel.
yeah,
It's a big
bro,
dude.
so the craziest video from the embedded videos that they do before every fight that
6'2"
I've
and
seen,
6'4".
he legit goes out in Poland, breaks the ice off the top after he's done working out, and then jumps into the water, and he just sits there and cools off. And I'm just like, it's
He's
negative-
Wim Hof and shit. Yeah,
it's
just
negative
fucking ice
degree-
bath.
it's negative temperature, and then he's jumping in, like that's the air temperature around you, and then he's jumping into the water.
The water's probably warmer.
Well, it is, but it's still, you're
Yeah.
still negative in
Right.
the water.
Well, you got to think about the cold bath therapy.
It is.
It's Wim Hof shit, dude.
But
I mean, you can
it's-
get yourself
an
to it. It's
ice
crazy.
bath
You don't
has-
just start that way, though. Yeah.
No,
But
you
an
gotta
ice
work
bath?
You gotta work.
You gotta be sore, and it's got to feel good. to
Sure,
get
once
into
you
a
get your
situation
body in
like
that, your body radiates
It's
more
really
heat. If you
hard
get
to
your
have
breathing
you
and
feel
all that
good.
down, but that's impressive as
Like, if
shit.
you worked out
I can't
for
do
just
that.
8 hours.
So you guys know about this better than I do, but is his 27-8 record deceiving? Because he's on a streak. Is he on a heater now? You said he's come back and done really well.
No, he was almost cut by the UFC. Lost a couple of fights, lost 2, and then he's just been on a run since. He said that he was almost cut. It felt like his job was on the line.
Doesn't
and
that
then since
work great
he's
in
just
all of
kind of
sports?
Crazed and just,
When you get those
it was
guys,
changed.
He's
They're
not
almost
really,
out, and then they
in
have
my
that.
opinion, he doesn't do it for me as a light heavyweight in that division. Even with that record, there's guys that have had plenty better records.
Sure.
Rumble had a much better run than he did.
But Rumble
Jones,
never held the
obviously. Cormier. There's 3 guys that have had. Okay, well, neither Blachowicz holds it because it's a fault, like I just said.
I
You know?
believe
It's not because he went
on
and
this
won it.
date, Jared
I guess he-
Stidham, March 3rd, believed John Jones ran from Jan Blachowicz. I said it.
So what's your pick?
In this fight, I
Right.
unfortunately believe that Jan is going to be too much for Izzy. I would love to see Izzy find a way to fucking pierce through this tank, but I believe that Jan had John Jones scared because Jan is all pressure, Jan is Polish power, Jan is coming forward. And unless you are able to get out of the way, it's not a fun time. Jan is a big man who's ready to be very physical.
Adesanya is a world-class kickboxer,
I understand.
Muay Thai fighter.
I understand.
We just saw what happened in the McGregor fight with the guy who has the ability to land solid leg kicks, and Blachowicz doesn't really bring an arsenal that's going to make Adesanya
If Izzy
fear his
tries to
coming
kick-
forward game.
If
He's
Izzy tries
more
to
of a
kick
brute
Is
him,
Blachowicz a striker? Is he a...
Jan
He's
will
more
maul
of a,
him.
Not a
he's
ground and
he's
pound
more of a
guy?
mauler.
No,
Yeah.
he will ground and pound.
Yeah.
That's my point.
I
If
mean,
Izzy starts
he'll
trying to
stand and
kick,
bang with you and take some punches, but he wants to ultimately just get on top of you and rain down hammer fists and
control.
elbows.
He's traditional.
I'm gonna go
He's
Adesanya,
traditional
old
Old
school
school
MMA.
badass shit.
He's
Yes.
traditional.
Unanimous decision, Izzy.
Mark
I
Coleman
can
type
see
shit.
it. You're not right.
That's
He's
what we're
got
talking about.
the reach. I understand why there's the thought process. There's just something about it in my gut that I just don't.
You know what, though?
I don't like Adesanya.
Blachowicz has a pretty big reach, too.
I like that. Blachowicz.
He's got a 78-inch reach as
fucking
well.
great.
It's not like there's a huge reach advantage.
I think when you see these two in the cage next to each other, you're gonna be like, wow, and then you're gonna see maybe in the first round a lot of feeling each other out. But I just feel that once Jan figures out he can walk forward, much like Stipe found out he can walk forward on DC, regardless of the difference in clinch boxing there was. It was just, I'm going to land my shots, and that's gonna be the game show.
We will see for sure.
I like it. It's going to be an awesome fight. I'm not mad either way. I'm not surprised if Izzy wins. I can see why
like
Izzy
those
wins. I
Lamborghinis.
love this fight. I really do. I think it's great for both
They're
people.
Green. They're the
Even
that's the
Thiago
cowboy
Santos
shit.
was the
Yeah.
5th fight.
Yeah.
I gotta go Izzy.
Yeah, I'll blame you.
He's 20-0.
Yeah.
I mean,
I mean,
it's
outside
one of
that.
those things until I see it done, I can't say it.
Right.
I'll follow that as well.
I don't. Yeah.
Askarov is also on the prelims. He's got a draw or no contest. He's going against Benavidez. Benavidez is
Porzingis had a good night.
He did.
19 and
His-
13.
His back tightness must have
Right.
loosened up. He was on the
Oh
bench
well,
the
this
other night.
Saturday UFC
Pay-per-view.
259.
You probably won't be able to stream it.
Yeah.
You probably won't be able to stream it because it's on
Not from ESPN
Plus.
Plus.
That's our
Just
picks.
go the pirate
Go the
route.
pirate route. Do it.
Yep.
Cool. Well, good times. We're back together.
Yes.
The table has 4 legs again. That's
does.
good. I like
We're not
it.
wobbling.
Cool. Well, I think that it was a successful night. We're not gonna stumble out, so I mean that's good.
Yeah. Facts.
I mean the Warriors stumbled late.
Yeah,
they
they did.
Damn time. Cool. Well, thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks.
All right, guys. Well, this is N2.
J-Rod.
The B-hole.
And cute.
Thanks for tuning in. We will be live next week, hopefully, for another show. Catch you next week.
Adios.
I feel like we should have credits roll up and then we talk.